Traders, I look forward to sharing my top setups for the upcoming week, including potential trades in Tesla, in Palantir, in Qs, and a couple small caps. So I'll be continuing with the previous adjustments that I've mentioned over the last several weeks, really, and to maintain a move-to-move mindset for the at least early part of next week, barring any significant headlines or developments, and whether or not the market can really maintain a firm hold above its 5-day SMA after the strong close on Friday. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into some of my top setups for the upcoming week, starting off with continuation higher in Tesla. Now, obviously, with a strong close, nice rally on Friday in the markets, a reclaim of its 5-day in SPY, in Qs, and in Tesla. I'm going to be coming in with a small bias for the upcoming week, looking for some continuation to the upside. And like I said, obviously, barring any significant developments or headlines. So for Tesla specifically, I want to see firstly, some significant relative strength to its sector, to the markets. Secondly, I'd like to see a breakout above Friday's high, above key resistance that we've seen form as well around the 250 mark for a potential entry long. Depending on the intraday action, I'd either have a low of day stop, or if we get an intraday consolidation above VWAP and we break out above either 250s or last week's high in the low 250s, my stop would be that consolidation breakout. To exit, I'm thinking about piecing out around the core as the stock extends intraday above VWAP, especially if we trade a full ATR from entry. Now, if the stock closes strong along with the markets and displays some key relative strength, I'd definitely be open to swinging up to a third of the position versus low of day. But ideally, I'd want to see, that 250 area resistance from last week. I'd like to see that firm up as potential support for the upcoming week after acting as major resistance. That will be an essential clue for me with Tesla, along with any key relative strength or weakness. And as I said, an ATR target is the primary goal. If I do act on the swing position overnight and for potential multi-day, then 200-day in the low 280s would become a potential loftier target. So along with that idea, we can move over to the Qs. Similar to the idea in Tesla rally after a nice strong close on Friday, corrected over 11% now from 52-week highs. It presents a similar bounce setup. I'm not bullish. I don't think we're going back to all-time highs. But even in bear markets and corrections, you do get strong rallies. And we're in my opinion, looking to position for that move now. So based on what I've seen on Friday in the overall markets, a small bias coming into the week for a potential relief rally, albeit if it's short-lived. So for trading the Qs, it's very important for me to obviously monitor relative strength along with key market internals that will offer some clues, and obviously looking at the positioning of several of its top holders. Now I might initiate a starter long position if I do notice positive internals, if I notice the Qs holding above its 2-day VWAP from Friday, and if we get a nice higher low, then I might look to initiate a starter long position. But ideally what I'd really like to see is for the market to firm up above Friday's high, and I'd like to see that ideally before getting long, as opposed to buying a higher low close to the 2-day VWAP. So my first target in that scenario, if we do firm up above Friday's high, my first target would be last week's high around 483s, 484s. If we come back into this zone, that would be target 1 to take some off. The lofty goal would, similar to Tesla, be a full ATR move, putting the stock and the target closer to around 490 if we were to have continuation over a day or two and trade a full ATR from entry. But like Tesla, I'm really more focused on an intraday move in the current market environment. But if we do get a favorable close and steady uptrend above VWAP intraday, that's when I'd be more open to carrying a piece, a small piece around, really around my core intraday overnight for a potential swing, at least a multi-day. And along with Qs and Tesla, there's several other names that meet the criteria for what I'm looking for a potential bounce. You have Palantir, names that have shown a little bit more relative weakness, but present a favorable risk reward if we're able to push above last week's range and 200-day. Amazon is another name, and several others. So definitely want to be prepared if this idea materialize and setup materializes to be able to react pretty quickly and have a basket of names that you're identifying. But obviously, along with that thought, it's important to mention that if the market fails to hold above Friday's high, if we get back into this range and we really start to churn and we aggressively find ourselves closer to 470 in the lows of last week's range, my plan will immediately shift to looking for relatively weak names for momentum shorts and for consolidation breakdown shorts, potentially for continuation lower. It's essential to remain open-minded and nimble in the current environment. And so while I'm prepared for potential 1 to 2 day longs next week, in the back of my mind, I also know what I want to see in order to flip that bias and focus on the short side. All right, next up, potential sell the news in quantum. So, quantum, take your pick. We got RGTI, IONQ, QBT, and the name that's been really leading, QBTS. But we had a really strong push on Friday, a nice rally on Friday in quantum names. We have NVIDIA's quantum day on the 20th on Thursday next week. So I'm really hopeful that we get a potential A+ sell the news with that catalyst. Early on in the week, given the range that we saw, the unbelievable liquidity on Friday in the basket and really wide host of all of these quantum names, I'm very open to both long and short scalps ahead of a potential sell the news event. So I'm coming in, unbiased and open-minded to really any intraday momentum opportunities, be it long or short. But the overarching idea and potential A+ opportunity for me would be if we got any continuation over multiple days in quantum. If we saw price and range further expand to the upside, and that would set up a really fantastic potential sell the news opportunity right ahead of the event on Thursday, potentially on Wednesday, or during or just ahead of the event on Thursday. So that is the overarching idea that I'm looking for, sell the news. But like I said, with range, with liquidity, if you remain unbiased and reactive to intraday setups and momentum, there's definitely some nice opportunity there. Given the liquidity and range, that's where I'll be focusing quite a lot of my attention. And then just, briefly last week's small caps, be it HMR, SUNE, GV. I'm going to just have some alerts set around potential overhead and resistance zones in the event that any of the names really have a short-lived push higher on a bit of a fluff PR or small liquidity trap back into resistance zones from last week for potential intraday fades. But alternatively, if those alerts only go off 3 to 4 days into the week, once liquidity has dried up and we take our prior resistance, I might focus my attention on a potential liquidity trap for a long. And obviously, in the event that no alerts go off, I won't pull up these stocks at all. So that's everything coming into the week that I have. Obviously, in the market we're in right now, it's move to move. We always have the risk of a headline coming out and changing momentum intraday drastically. So it's important to remain open-minded and not get too locked into a bias. It's one thing to be prepared, plan the trade, but if that trade doesn't materialize, there's no need to trade that plan. So remain open-minded, nimble, flexible, and obviously always prioritize risk management. And that's everything that I have for the upcoming week. So, as always, a lot of things are going to pop up and my scanners and filters will go off, and that will take my attention away potentially from what I plan for the upcoming week. It all depends on where I have edge and the most expectancy. But please do drop in the comments what your top ideas are for the upcoming week, be it similar to mine or completely different or contrasting views. Either way, I'd love to hear each week what your plans on your top focuses. So drop it in the comments, and wishing you all the best for the week. Good luck.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of S&B Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with S&B to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.